Hello everyone and welcome back. So in the last video we saw the first three questions of problem set 1.5. So in today's video we will continue and solve the next three questions of problem set 1.5. So let's proceed. So the fourth question goes as, so let us read the question. So the denominator of a fraction is 4 more than twice its numerator. Denominator becomes 12 times the numerator. If both the numerator and denominator are reduced by 6, find the fraction. Now by looking at the question, we can understand that we are supposed to find the fraction of the given number. So to find the fraction, it means that there is an upon number. So that is why we will take the assumption as a fraction, that is we will take the fraction to be as x upon y. Now you can see that in the question they have given in terms of denominator and numerator. Although we have learnt about denominator and numerator in our previous classes, but many people do not remember that which one is the denominator and which one is the numerator. So we will see which is the denominator and numerator first, because it is very important that you know what is the denominator and numerator to solve this question. So the number or variable which is on the top is called as the numerator, and the number or variable which is below is called as the denominator. So you have to remember this thing, that whichever number or variable which is on the top is the numerator, and the number or variable which is on the bottom is called as the denominator. So it is very important that you remember these two things, because to solve this question you have to know which is the denominator and which is the numerator. So now we know which is the denominator and which is the numerator, so we can easily solve this question. So let us see the first condition. So the first condition says that the denominator of a fraction is 4 more than twice its numerator. So the denominator of a fraction, and we know that denominator is what? Y. So here they are saying that the y of a fraction is 4 more than twice its numerator, which means that y is equals to 4 more. Now over here they are saying more. More means what? Whatever thing is there, it is increasing, and wherever increasing is taking place, it's obvious that addition is taking place. If they are saying less, it means subtraction is taking place. So the denominator of a fraction is 4 more than twice its numerator. It means that y is equals to 4 plus 2 times its numerator, that is 2x. So you can see, according to the given condition, we get y is equals to 4 plus 2x. That is, the denominator of a fraction is 4 more than twice its numerator. So I hope this is clear to you all. Now you can see that y is over here, x is over here. So we will arrange this equation to get x and y variables to one side and constants to one side. So we get 2x minus y is equals to minus 4. So this is our first equation. Now using the second condition, we will frame our second equation. So the second condition says that the denominator becomes 12 times the numerator if both the numerator and the denominator are reduced by 6. So what it is saying, that the denominator becomes 12 times the numerator. That is, y becomes 12 times the numerator, which means that y will be equal to 12 times x only if both the numerator and denominator are reduced by 6. It means that if you reduce numerator and denominator by 6, that is, if you subtract the numerator and the denominator by 6, then only your denominator becomes 12 times the numerator. So let us see how to frame this equation. So here you can see that they were saying that the denominator, that is y, becomes 12 times x, that is 12x, 12 times the numerator, if both the denominator and numerator are reduced by 6. So you can see that I have reduced the denominator by 6 and the numerator by 6. So I got y is equals to 12 times x. So I hope this part is clear to you all. This condition was a bit tricky, but if you read the condition properly, you will understand what they are trying to convey. So this is the equation So we will solve this equation to get a linear equation. So here you can see y minus 6, 12x minus 12 6 is 72. So we get 12x minus y is equals to 66. Now we've got our two equations, that is equation 1 and 2, and we will solve them simultaneously to get our x and y values. So over here we will subtract the equations 1 and 2. So we get 2x minus y is equals to minus 4, and minus 12x plus y is equals to minus 66. So y will get cancelled, and we get minus 10x which is equals to minus 70. So our x is equals to 7. So now we got the value of x as 7. So we will substitute this value in any of the previous equation to get the value of y. So we have the equation, that is 2x minus y is equals to minus 4. So we will substitute. So we get 2 into 7, that is 14, minus y is equals to minus 4. So y is equals to 14 plus 4, which is equals to 18. So we got our x as 7 and we got our y as 18. Now if you remember, in the first line we had taken our assumption, that was the fraction we had taken as x upon y. So now we got the value of x and y. So what is our fraction? Our fraction is 7 upon 18. So you can see our fraction is 7 upon 18. Now again, if you want to check whether your answer is correct or not, you can substitute the value of x and y in any of the previous equation and check whether your LHS is equals to your RHS. If it is equal, then your answer is correct. If it is not equal, then your answer is not correct. So this is how you're supposed to solve this question. So now let us move on to the next question. So here is the next question. Let us read this. So there are two types of boxes A, B, which are to be placed in a truck having a capacity of 10 tons. When 150 boxes of type A and 100 boxes of type B are loaded in the truck, it weighs 10 tons. But when 260 boxes of type A are loaded in the truck, it can still accommodate 40 boxes of type B, so that it is fully loaded. Find the weight of each type of box. So now what is happening over here is that we are having a truck, and the truck is being loaded by two types of boxes, that is A and B, and the maximum capacity of the truck is 10 tons. So you have to add the boxes A and B in such a way that the truck is fully loaded. So in the first condition, what they are saying, that when they added 150 boxes of type A, they were able to add 100 boxes of type B. So the truck was loaded fully. And when they added 260 boxes of type A, only 40 boxes of type B could be accommodated, so that it is fully loaded, that is 10 tons. So we have to find the weight of each type of box. So let us assume that the weight of box A is x and box B is y, since we have to find the weight of each box. Now you can see that they have given the capacity of trucks in the form of tons, that is 10 tons. So we will change this unit into kg. So we know that 1 ton is equals to 1000 kg. So if you don't know, you have to remember this, that 1 ton is equals to 1000 kg. It will help you. So we know that 1 ton is 1000 kg. So 10 ton will be how much kgs? 10,000 kgs. Okay. So now we know that 10 ton is equals to 10,000 kgs. So now we will check our conditions. So the first condition says that when 150 boxes of type A and 100 boxes of type B are loaded, it weighs 10 tons, that is 10,000 kg. So we will write 150x plus 150x plus 100y is equals to 10 tons, that is 10,000. So here we have the first equation, that is 150x plus 100y is equals to 10,000. This is our first equation. And then they are saying that 260 boxes of type A are loaded in the truck, so it can still accommodate 40 boxes of type B, which means that 260x plus 40y is equals to 10,000. So here we are having 260x plus 40y is equals to 10,000. Now you can see both the equations are having quite large numbers. So if you solve these two simultaneously, you are going to get quite big numbers. Now if you see these two equations carefully, you can see that you can reduce these equations. So whenever there is a condition where you can reduce the equations, always try to reduce these equations, because when you reduce the equations your calculation becomes easier. So what we will do is we will divide equation 1 by 50 and equation 2 by 20. So what we get? We get our 3x plus 2y is equals to 200, which is our third equation, and 13x plus 2y is equals to 500, which is our fourth equation. So you can see that the two equations have been reduced to quite smaller numbers, and now calculation will become easier. So you can see that coefficient of y is same, so we will subtract the two equations. So we get 13x plus 2y is 500 minus 3x minus 2y is equals to minus 200. So we get 2y will get cancelled, so we get 10x is equals to 300. So our x is equals to 30. So now our x is 30. So we will substitute x is 30 in any of the previous equations. So this is our equation that we have chosen. So 3x plus 2y is 200. So we get 3 into 30 because x is 30 plus 2y is 200. So 90 plus 2y is 200. So we get 2y is 200 minus 90. So our y is equals to 110 upon 2. 110 upon 2. So we get y as 55. So you can see that our x is 30 and our y is 55. And we are taking our x as the weight of box A and y as weight of box B. So we will say that the weight of box A, that was x, is equals to 30 kg, and weight of box B, which was y, is equals to 55 kg. So this is, that is, you found the weight of box A and you have found the weight of box B. Again you can substitute these two values in the previous equations and check whether your answer is correct or not. So let us move on to the next question, which is the last question of problem set 1.5. So over here they are saying that out of 1900 kilometers, Vishal travelled some distance by bus and some by aeroplane. Bus travels with average speed 60 kilometers per hour and average speed of aeroplane is 700 kilometers per hour. It takes 5 hours to complete the journey. Find the distance Vishal travelled by bus. Now over here there is a boy named Vishal and he has to travel total of 1900 kilometers. So he decided that he will cover some distance by bus and the remaining distance he will cover by aeroplane. And they are saying that the bus travels with an average speed of 60 km per hour and aeroplane is having average speed of 700 km per hour. So when Vishal travelled some distance by bus and some distance by aeroplane, it took him 5 hours to complete the journey. Now we have to find the distance Vishal covered when he travelled by the bus. Okay, so since we know the we have to find the distance, so we will say, see over here we want to find the distance. We know the total distance, we know the speed of the bus and aeroplane, and we also know the time. So you can see we know the time and we know the speed, and we need to find the distance. So if you know, you can recall any formula which consists of distance, time and speed. So do you remember any formula which consists of distance, time and speed? So if you are thinking that speed is equals to distance upon time, then yes, you are right. So we can find the distance using this formula because we know the speed and we know the time. Now what we will do is we will just note down the given to us whatever is in the question. So we know that the average speed of bus is what, 60 kilometers per hour, and average speed of aeroplane is what, 700 kilometers per hour, and total distance that is to be covered by Vishal, that is 1900 kilometers. Now we will take the time taken by the bus be x hours and time taken by the aeroplane be y hours. Now you will think that why have we taken the time taken? Because we have to find the distance, and we know the average speed of bus and aeroplane which is given to us, but we do not know the average, or you can say the time taken by the bus and aeroplane. So that is why we are taking the time taken by the bus and aeroplane to be x and y hours. Now you can see that the bus travels by 6 kilometers, so this will be 60x, and the average speed of aeroplane is what, 700 kilometers per hour, so this will be our 700y. And when Vishal traveled by bus, for 16 kilometers and aeroplane for 700, he had to cover 1900 kilometers. So if it will be equal to 1900, that is 60x plus 700y is equals to 1900 kilometers. So to travel total distance of 1900 kilometers, Vishal had to travel from bus which had 60 km per hour average speed, and by aeroplane which had 700 kilometers per hour average speed. So we can further reduce this equation by dividing it by 20. So what we get 3x plus 30y is equals to 95. So this is our first equation. Now for the second equation, you can see that it says that it takes 5 hours to complete the journey, and we know that Vishal had travelled some distance by bus and some distance by aeroplane to cover the journey, and it took him 5 hours. It means that the time taken by the bus plus the time taken by the aeroplane is equals to 5 hours, which means that x plus y is equals to 5 hours. So this will be our second equation, that is x plus y is equals to 5 hours, which is equals to 5. So now we will solve these two equations simultaneously. So over here we will multiply equation 2 by 3 to get 3 as the coefficient of x as 3, and we will subtract 2 by 1. So what we get is 3x plus 35y is equals to 95, and 3 minus 3x minus 3y is equals to minus 15. So 3x will get cancelled, and we get 32y is equals to 80. So our y is equals to 80 upon 32. So our y is equals to 5 by 2. So we will substitute y is equals to 5 by 2 in any of the previous equations. So this is our equation, x plus y is 5. So we get x plus 5 by 2 upon x plus 5 by 2 is equals to 5. So we get x is equals to 5 minus 5 by 2. Now what we will do is we will do the cross multiplication. So when we do the cross multiplication, what we get 2 into 5 minus 5 into 1 upon 2. So we get 10 minus 5 upon 2. So we get our x as 5 by 2. So now we are getting x and y both as 5 by 2, but we want only x. Why? Because we want to find the distance of bus. We want to find, so you can see over here they are asking us to find the distance travelled by bus. So since we want to find the distance travelled by bus, we will see the time taken by the bus, right? We will take the time taken by the bus, and the time taken by the bus is what? X. So we will take the value of x. Even though x and y is same, but it can be in some question you get x and y is different, so you have to be careful. Okay, so over here we will take the value of x. So you can see that the distance travelled by Vishal by bus is equals to speed into time, because distance is equals to speed into time. So the speed of bus was what? 60 kilometers per hour, and the time taken we got as 5 by 2. So here we are having 5 by 2. So 2 into 30 we get 60. So 30 into 5. So 30 into 5 is what? 150 kilometers. So the distance travelled by Vishal by the bus is what? 150 kilometers. So using the bus, Vishal travelled 150 kilometers, and the remaining distance he travelled by the aeroplane. So this is how you are supposed to solve this question. So this is also one of the questions which is very important, and there are many chances that this type of questions will come in your exam. So it is highly recommended that you solve as many as word problems as you can, because the more word problems you solve, the more easier it will become for you to solve. So now we have solved the problem set 1.5 and have covered all 6 questions, and I hope now everyone must be finding word problems easier to solve. All you need is to practice for word problems to understand them. So if you all have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. And in the next video, that is the last video on linear equations, we will be learning how to solve the board problems, which is again a bit difficult. So that is it for today's video. Thank you.